Okay, hi, welcome to my presentation. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to come learn a little bit more about collective teacher efficacy. Alright, so the objectives for today's presentation are to inform educators about collective teacher efficacy and its impact on student achievement, engage in collaborative conversation around increasing collective efficacy at our school, and develop action steps towards increasing collective efficacy at our school site. So for our warm-up, I know it's been a long day, you guys are probably like tired, you don't want to, but this is going to get your juices flowing, and so we're going to warm up by on a chart piece of paper. You're going to jot down in blue everything you know about collective teacher efficacy. Even if it's one thing, I want to know where we are so I know how I can help you. Then in orange, jot down why you think working as a team is important. I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes.
You have 1 minute, right? We have knowledge.
What else?
Mentor.
What else?
We support each other.
It's always respect.
Now in orange, you're writing why you think working together as a team is important.
We are stronger together.
I always envision like that team ceremony.
I like the visuals.
When we're all pulling the same way.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And we all pull the same way.
Hey, what about the table there?
What's your table? Oh.
There were the pillars of the
Yeah,
table.
and they can mess up and no one can bring it forward.
These are great examples, great visuals. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to show this up here. And then you guys, if one of you would like to share your thoughts on the first one, which is jot down everything you know about collective teacher efficacy. So what do you think that looks like?
We have knowledge that we know how to teach.
You can share, mentor, support, you can respect each other and have experts to help each other.
Okay. And then why do you think it's important to work as a team?
They're stronger together and we get to help each other.
We're all working towards the same goal. And like Benita had mentioned, like the table, we're each one leg and one of us the top. And then we work together, we could support anything to each other as opposed to just being on our own.
Being
Awesome.
alone.
Thank you. It seems like you guys are already experts at collective teacher efficacy, so hopefully I could teach you guys a little bit more. All right, so the conditions for collective efficacy to occur in a team is the team must be transparent in practice and results. That means that you can't be afraid to show your data. Even if the kids totally bombed a test, you have to be able to share that with your team so that, and because you don't know if the rest of them also bombed, or maybe someone was very successful and they could show you, well, this is what I did in my classroom. So it helps you get new teacher practices that might improve your student achievement or your scores. Number 2, the team must create a non-judgmental environment. So everyone in that team must feel comfortable being able to share with their teammates. Because if someone feels left out, someone feels uncomfortable, they're not going to come and share. So the team is not going to be solid. Number 3 was the team must set high expectations. They must set high expectations. We expect our students to have high expectations on themselves. We need to do the same for ourselves. So when coming together about a common goal, we don't go for something that the kids are already being successful in. Something that's a challenge, something that the kids are not doing well in as a team. If you set that expectation, you guys could do it. Number 4, the team must be specific on the data they collect to demonstrate growth and collect it. So when you're coming up with a lesson plan or you're making an assessment, you have to be specific. Okay, we're gonna collect this problem because we want to be able to prove that they learned this skill. So know why you're collecting the data so that you could explain it when you get the results. All right, so I'm going to show you a video by Hattie. I found this very informative, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And I don't know if you guys have seen or read any of Hattie's research, but it's great.
They never accept what you think is good enough. Like when I was going through schooling, right up to year 12, we had to do maths. And up about year 9 and 10, I was thinking, give me a chance and I'll give up. Now when I got to year 12, I got Mr. Tomlinson. And I was doing okay, but not that very well. He was stunning.
So, something that I don't know, anything stick out for you guys about that video?
It's about exceeding your expectations.
And empowering our students to want to push on.
So it's like not setting a top.
Yeah.
It's limitless.
And then, like I said, going back to, I think I mentioned about even in the as a team to set high expectations when you're working with your team. It goes back to this. So if we set high expectations on ourselves, we can go back and do the same with our students. So the importance. So if school faculty has a strong collective efficacy, they will have a greater chance of positively impacting student achievement. So here on the scale, we see some of the things that affect, and one of the highest ones was in fact collective teacher. Actually, it was the highest, more than parental involvement, class size, which I know as teachers, some of us were like, wait, what? Like class size is a big deal. Hattie found that actually collective teacher efficacy was a bigger deal. So if teachers are working together, it's making a higher impact on our students than something like class size or parental involvement. Data and research shows a significant impact that is made when a school has strong collective efficacy. So research, Hattie ranked collective teacher efficacy as the #1 factor influencing student achievement. Collective teacher efficacy has an effect size of 1.57. Collective efficacy positively contributes to student achievement. The impact is more than double the effect of prior student achievement and more than triple the effect of home environment and parental involvement. I know that's a big, I think, shock. When I saw this, I was totally caught off guard. I didn't expect that. Because I think a lot of times we think, okay, if our student wasn't successful in the past, I mean, we could help them grow a little bit, but I mean, this shows that if we work together as a team and we're all our students become the team students, we can work together to push that student past where they have been in the past. So some strategies that we could do at our own school, we have the SMART planning, goal planning, and reflecting as a grade level team. Plan strategic release days. So letting the teachers have time to plan and get together and talk about what's going on in our classrooms. Additional purposeful grade level planning. So instead of having staff meetings, maybe giving the grade level time to plan together. Team building exercises. I know a lot of people don't like to get up and talk, but it really gets you to know your peers. Empowering teachers, so giving the teachers the power to decide what they want to learn or what they want to change in their classrooms. Foster self-selected professional development. Implementing collaborative planning. which could be making a math task or choosing strategic students that we're going to focus on. Professional reading, focus on collective efficacy, and PD cycle by grade level. So that's something that has been adopted at our site actually, where we plan on the first week, we plan what we're going to teach. The second week we do what we planned. The third week, the third week is we actually we study the results, and the fourth week is we talk about the next steps, the next actions, and then a task study. So here's another video about collective teacher efficacy and how it works with professional learning community. So that is our grade levels or our special teams at our sites. Just go to the top. Yeah.
Welcome to the Tapara video on teacher efficacy and PLC teams. It's so important for your PLC team to have a shared understanding of what the purpose of a PLC is. I think this quote conveys the purpose quite clearly, that in the end, the pursuit is to improve student achievement. And if we can do that through collaborative teacher decisions, we can respond quickly when students aren't learning. At the core of an effective teacher team are John Hattie's 8 critical mind frames that he believes every teacher must have, as it underpins every action in a school. John Hattie believes that teachers and school leaders who develop these ways of thinking are more likely to have major impacts on student learning. And you'll notice that many of the mind frames can be accomplished through an effective PLC, talking about learning, engaging in dialogue, developing positive relationships, and collaborating. So how do you know if your team members are operating with these 8 mind frames? John Hattie synthesized over 500,000 educational studies and found 195 influences on student learning. And teacher efficacy has the second largest influence. But what is teacher efficacy? Simply put, it is when everyone in a school believes that together they can make a difference. In a meta-analysis of 26 studies that looked at the relationship between collective teacher efficacy and student achievement, found that there is a strong and positive correlation between the two. In fact, when everyone in the school had that strong collective teacher efficacy, that is, they all believed that together they could make a difference, the impact on student attainment could be quadrupled. So, for your PLC to be truly effective, you must have strong collective teacher efficacy, not only to have a more pleasant experience within the group, but because we know it can truly make a difference in student achievement. This chart gives some examples of the
to carry on what was said in that video. I mean, like they said, not only will collaborating with it and wanting to work with your team, it makes it easier for us to come to work because you look forward to talking to the adults. So if you get along with your team members, it not only helps you, but as it shows, it helps your students significantly. So I just have a little final thoughts with another marker, different color. Just each of you write down one fact or one new thing that you learned during the videos, during my presentation. I'll give you guys a minute. Alright, so if you guys would like to share your thoughts on what you wrote about something you learned, or something that stuck out to you during the presentation. I see you guys wrote it in green.
Honest, non-judgmental, teacher efficacy highly impacts student achievement.
So, I mean, I hope what I got, and I hope you guys similarly, was that just how much you don't realize how much working together as a team with your grade level or with other teams at your school, how much it impacts students. And it makes students, not only you want to come to school, but the students want to come to school. And I think it's important for both of us to want to come to school.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being here on my presentation. I hope you guys learned a lot.
Thank you.